Hello, and today I'm starting on part 7 of my story. I finished up to where we were searching for a new rheumatologist, and we were referred to my current rheumatologist, and I've had her for the past 6 years, and she is wonderful. And when we went in to her appointment, I was frustrated by then, and I wrote up like a one-page document, just a letter to her stating this is what I've gone through and this is where I want to be. Because, my health had deteriorated so much in that year. And I mean, in just like 1 week, it was taken away from me. And that I wanted to be able to get back my independence. Um, During that time, during that last year, from work, I used my sick leave that went on short-term disability, and I was on long-term disability at the time. And um, I was battling with the thoughts of going on, Social Security disability. I didn't want that title on me. I didn't want to be called disabled. And, this was 6 years ago. So, I was 35, 36, and I was supposed to be out and about working, doing all that kind of stuff. I didn't want disabled. It took me forever to finally ask to get the handicap placard for my car so, I could have easy walking, into stores or, closer to get, the wheelchair out and get in and stuff. So I wrote the letter to her, and when we went in, we brought our medical records. I think I actually had even sent them to her office prior to going in there, so she had time to review them. So when I went in, I wasn't going to be stuck with, okay, we're going to do this blood work, we're going to do these x-rays, and we'll see you back in a month. I did not want to have to wait another month. So I sent in, my MRIs and my medical records, my lab results. And I mean, it was thick. I'm sure it bombarded her. And, but, we were pleasantly surprised when we got in to our doctor's appointment. And I say we because my husband, he's been through this. And him being the caregiver, he's been there through every bump in the road that I've been through. And it's we make our decisions together. And so when we got in there, she had reviewed it all. And she had come in and talked to me and met and did, the history and physical, did all that kind of stuff. And then she politely excused herself from the room. And when she came back in, she came in with the head doctor, because it's a clinic and there's several doctors in there, and then there's the head doctor, and they had both reviewed my records. And when they came back in, they sat down and they said they wanted to talk to us because I had the diagnosis of systemic lupus erythematosus. And when we went in, we weren't even still, I know we had seen and read some about lupus, but we had not thought, okay, this is it. And it wasn't something that I wanted the diagnosis to be. I thought we would just probably go in and probably be dismissed, that, okay, it's none of these, fine, go on. And so it did hit us like a ton of bricks that, that the diagnosis was lupus. And they sat there. That doctor's visit was a good at least 2 hours long, and they did not make us feel rushed. Their bedside manner was very caring and compassionate. I asked, how come, this diagnosis had not been made, because they said everything was in my medical records. The blood work indicated it, symptoms, the criteria. They explained the criteria and went through and marked it off on a sheet showing which ones we had met And I think at that time there were 6. They said when we went to that initial rheumatologist, all the information was there. So the past year, I'd been being treated with Rebif, which was a medication for MS. The Plaquenil that the rheumatologist had started, he just had me on it a month and quit. You know, everything, it was just a lot to take in and, you know, to realize what was going on. They gave us all sorts of information to take home on lupus. They told us to research it, you know, to come, you know, to find, you know, research for questions we had to ask. They made my next appointment, and they said to come back in and to ask them what we wanted to. They wanted to go ahead and start me on the Plaquenil. We just started out very low, you know, low. I mean, we didn't start out on a whole bunch of medications. They gave me Plaquenil and I think some medicine for some pain, and we left out of there, I think, in shock, you know, just trying to figure out, you know, what was going on. You know, is it truly lupus? We knew we really enjoyed the doctors and the clinic. You know, we felt comfortable in there, and we felt, you know, that they were giving us correct information. So I'm going to stop right here for part 7, and I will pick up like what we researched and what our next doctor visit was. I'm going to have to start asking my husband some questions because I hope I'm not missing out on anything. I'll talk to you guys in the next video.